Hello, ye forest dwellers of YouTube. Welcome to part 5. I think. I'm pretty sure this is part 5. It might be 6. I think it's 5. You should check the title below. I think it's 5. Hi. Anyway, the next episode. If you're binging this, you just came immediately over to the next episode. Welcome to the next episode of Dragon Age Origins Awakening with a Therapist. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me and to go through this playthrough. I hope that you have been enjoying the playthrough so far. Leave a like, leave a comment, check out the links in the description. Would love to see you over here on Twitch sometime at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. I try to stream as many nights of the week as I possibly can. To all who have left comments and said cool things about this, thank you for that. It is wonderful to have all of you participating in this playthrough. Those of you that share my content with people, I cannot thank you enough for that. It is the best way to support this channel, and if you came here because somebody told you about this channel, thanks for giving it a shot. Really appreciate that. All right. Let's see what this forest has. Oh, man. Yeah, I got a bunch of clowns in Twitch chat right now. So if you want to hang out with clowns, if you want to join the circus, come hang out with us. And we're starting tonight's stream with my favorite aspect of this game. Justice, ye Glass Canyon. You gotta stop going off by yourself, big guy. Oh, we also killed a dragon last episode, for those who were interested in the synopsis. That was interesting. Alright, I'm always down for a poultice. Okay, so we've got quite a bit of territory to cover here. We got a nice pentagram. Love that. Those are never spooky and ominous, ever. We got a castle over here. We got some statues we gotta find. We get an autosave, which means some shit's about to go down. Yes, disperse! Oh, we got more charred dudeskies we gotta take care of here. Man, I'm so glad we have this bear. This bear is a real difference maker. Hell yeah. Okay. Alright. We have like a little dungeon thing that we could go to, and we have this castle that we can go check out, and we have more woodlands. I'm gonna go check out more woodlands before we go into the town. I want to get all the statues and clear up the side quests that we have here before we go to the main stuff. Granite deposit. What is built endures. You found granite deposits in the Wending Wood. Voldrick will want to know where the deposits are. Okay. We can do that. What the hell is this thing? Oh! Oh shit, we got some darkspawn here. I'm sensing darkspawn. There we go. Old glass cannons going through all my poultice stocks.
No, I will not allow it.
Will not allow what, sir? Grave statue. You make a copy of the inscription. Once we get all of them, I'm going to read that. So that's 4. Got ourselves a chest here. A magic staff. I don't really have any mages with me, so. Yeah, DrMick, because you sent him away. Perhaps we'll be able to go back to the tower at some point and
I think I can help with that.
see our guy.
This,
Ema-
that.
You just said that you would help me with that, Nathaniel. Jeez. Guy's got some sass when I take control of him. What have we here? Statue of War. You.
Come here.
Statue of War. Statue of Peace. Statue of Peace didn't come talk to me. This statue looks ancient, but it has weathered the years well.
It has been a long time. I have forgotten my name, but I am a warrior. I am Avar, and I am cursed.
Then what shall I call you?
I care not what I am called. Seasoned
All right, Stony
beyond
Boy
counting,
5000.
I was a man to be feared, a man of war. The Teventa mages, they came here seeking easy prey, but they found me, my brother, my tribe. We broke their army at the Fort of 1,000 Vigils, then pursued the Magister.
Dude, that was over 1,000 years ago.
So long. We cornered the Magister here. Here we would sacrifice him to Uvola, the god of this wood. As his guards fell one by one, he struck my brother and I with liquid fire. So even as the Magister's body was torn apart, my brother and I watched from stone eyes.
Hey, he's got time. I got a little bit of time. Tell me about your people. We don't really know much about you, man.
So much forgotten. I remember only revenge. The Tevinter Magister that cursed my brother and I, he leads a mockery of life. Disturb the ashes nearby. Summon him. Kill him. Free me.
Stranger. No, come here.
Oh boy. Statue of War wishes the destruction of the Magister who cursed him and his brother. Disturb the ashes nearby to summon it. Or do I talk to this? I can talk to the Statue of Peace. What's up, man?
My brother called to you. Do not listen. The Magister's death will accomplish nothing.
Well, tell me your tale then, statue.
My brother is consumed by rage. Over long years, his anger grows. Anger will not free us. Revenge will not free us. I've used the long years to think, to pray to our gods.
Have they spoken you back?
The gods hold their own counsel. There is no release, but with peace, serenity, we can sleep. I have slept many seasons with only my brother's anger to call me back. Show him the way. This does not have to be a torment.
You know him better than I do. How do I convince him of that?
With reason or a silver tongue. He is the son of the Father, a warrior born. With the long seasons, I have seen that violence often accomplishes naught. Teach him.
Boy, okay. This is so truly, I'm not speechless very often when I do these playthroughs, and I'm kind of speechless now because this is just so odd. You could have given me 1,000 guesses of what was going to happen tonight, and me talking about triangulation with statues that don't directly address each other despite being right next to each other, that I don't even know if they're actually talking to me, and I have zero context for their relationship and where they came from, is not something that I would have guessed. Oh, lordy. Okay. In my training as a systemically oriented therapist, one of the core things that you discuss as part of your training is the need to have as many people in the room as possible, because you get the most information that way, particularly when people are talking about their relationships. When you have individuals, you can get good amounts of information, but you really only get to hear the perspective and perceptions of the individual in front of you, which is always going to be skewed. None of us is omniscient. None of us is capable of speaking objectively about things that are going on, because we have our own biases and lived experience that informs the way that we perceive what's happening. The way that we would get a better feel for the dynamic between these brothers would be for us to observe the two of them interacting with each other, because that is where the real information is. Right now, for me to make certain assumptions about the statue of war because the statue of peace told me that that's how his brother is unfair to the statue of war. Because I don't know if the statue of peace is telling me the truth. I just met these guys. The only way that I could get a feel for their dynamic and actually help in any kind of meaningful way, if I were to actually triangulate myself as a therapist or otherwise, would be to watch them interact and to have them talk about this. To see when the statue of peace brings up the statue of war's violence is the option tactic, what does the statue of war do in response? Where does the statue of war get activated? Where does the statue of peace get flustered? What are the things that they struggle to talk about? What are the things that seem to be easy? We look for patterns in that process, and then that's where we start to intervene. Too often, as humans, we will hear another human talk about another person that we don't know, and we will immediately assume often that that person's perception of that other person is correct, because we inherently know that that person knows that other person better than we do. It's easier for us to take that in because it makes it so that we don't have to sit in uncertainty. So we will often give first impressions from others the benefit of the doubt as being true. Which is why you need to be careful about how you talk about other people that the people around you don't know. So to take the Statue of Peace at its word, just because it's called the Statue of Peace, which is something that I'm biased to be more in line with when I are presented with peace and war, is again unfair to the Statue of War. And I have been now triangulated in between the two of these, who have two entirely different directives, and they're asking me to resolve a tension that they don't seem to be interested in resolving with each other, because we're not seeing them interact. Triangulation is not always a bad thing. People who are novice in the world of therapy or who don't really take the time to understand the way triangulation works often misrepresent triangulation as a always bad kind of thing, and it's not. Triangulation can be useful in small doses. Therapy is a form of triangulation. But triangulation is something that is only effective if it is eventually shifted back into the dyad. So what that actually would look like is there's tension between the Statue of Peace and the Statue of War. They have experienced a level of anxiety in their relationship over countless and many years. Because they have not resolved that with each other, the anxiety builds. What people will then do is they will try to get a third party involved, hence the triangle, because we have three people, as a means to try to resolve that anxiety that's not being resolved in the dyad. But what people don't realize is that a triangle doesn't dissipate anxiety, it stabilizes it. Structurally, triangles are one of the strongest shapes that you can use. You see them all the time in engineering. It stabilizes anxiety. It doesn't actually make it go away. All you're doing is dispersing it to somebody else who's not responsible for the thing that you're trying to work through. So if you are ever in that position, it's time to set a boundary and say, hey, you know, I appreciate that you're talking to me about this, but this sounds like something that you need to resolve with that specific person. Which is what I would say to these statues here. Say, peace, I don't understand why you need me. If you have not been able to convince your own brother over the past several hundred years that his means are incorrect, what makes you think that I'm going to be able to do that if I go over there and talk to him? You know him better than I do. And what it actually makes me wonder to an extent is, to what extent do you listen to what your brother has to say? Right? Maybe War truly does believe that that's the way to go. Like, truly in his heart of hearts. He's like, yep, that pile of ashes got to be taken care of because this is torture. And Peace is just, it's like talking to a wall. Peace is like, nope, 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 nope. We have, the point of this is we have no idea. I don't have even I'm not even in the same league, let alone same ballpark with them in terms of having the contextual knowledge to get involved in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to War and I'm going to see what his response is because I'm curious. But what I would do in real life is I would say to these two, it sounds like the two of you have some stuff to work out. And I would prefer to see the two of you talk about that before I would feel comfortable intervening because I don't have enough information. That's what I would actually do.
The deed is not yet done.
Now, there might be some sort of, like, magical reason why the two of them can't talk to each other, so I am going to take that into account here, but, like, I got to try to somehow make a conversation with two statues translate to real life. Your brother says the Magister's death won't free you.
My brother has grown weak. In truth, weakness was always in him. He was a thinker, a dreamer, not a warrior.
Again, the same thing. This doesn't actually tell me anything about the Statue of Peace. This is just what this tells me is what the Statue of War's perception of the Statue of Peace is. And I think that's the point that I want to make here. When you hear people talk about other people, you are not actually learning about the person that they're talking about. You are learning their perception of the person they're talking about. It is information that you're getting from about the person that's talking to you, not about who they're talking about. Unless they're speaking about like factual, observable information, which even then you can take with a grain of salt if you didn't see it yourself. It's very important to remember that we don't know that he was a thinker, a dreamer, a warrior, that he was weak. We know that his brother thinks that that's what he is. Which is why I would want to see the Statue of Peace's response to this, because I get better information there. So I'm not going to believe these guys at the outset. I need to have my own assessment and evaluation of them in order to make an informed decision about what to do. And that applies to real life. When people start talking about other people, see it as information about the person who's talking to you, not about the person they're talking about. Use your own eyes and ears. Do your own assessments of people, rather than just taking everybody else's word for it. For me to say, has anger helped you, would be okay. When I say, aren't you miserable, that's me making a value judgment. The statement behind the question, aren't you miserable, is me saying, I would think that you would be miserable, or that you maybe even should be miserable by being angry all the time. It's a value judgment that I'm bringing in with absolutely zero context other than my own judgments of anger. So I don't like that question. It's not something that I would ask. It seems like a very smart and esoteric way to approach this guy, right? Like, has anger ever helped you? Aren't you miserable with your anger? If it's been hundreds of years and the guy is angry, it's obviously not been miserable enough for him to just, stop. As if you could just stop anger when you're experiencing it. So it's really not that smart of a question. To say, can't you forgive the Magister? That's another one. That's not a question. It's a statement. I'm essentially saying you should forgive the Magister. I don't know enough about the Magister to make that call. In 1,000 years, has no one killed the Magister? That is probably the best question that I can ask him, because it's asking for fact. It's not asking for interpretation. It's not me injecting any sort of value judgments into what I'm saying to him. It's literally just me wanting to gather information. And that's helpful to me. His answer is going to be useful. So in 1,000 years, has nobody killed the Magister? I can't imagine I'm the first person that you've beckoned to walking through this forest.
Twice before he has been struck down. Once very long ago. Once by an Alamari Dane.
Okay. So then why are you wanting me to kill the Magister if it hasn't worked twice before? Dane as in Dane from the legends?
I do not know your legends. He asked after a dragon. But I know nothing of dragons either.
Okay. So again, what makes me different? Why, if I kill the Magister, is that going to make any difference if two people before have done it and you're still trapped? Like, I don't understand how I'm different.
You may be right. My soul calls out to smite he who cursed my brother and me.
All right, he's getting mad. Now, here's an interesting piece of this when you look at the process of what's happening. You'll notice that he was not particularly emotional when he was talking about the Magister and the need to kill it. His emotional intensity goes up when he speaks about the sense of helplessness that he's experiencing, in that what he thinks he's supposed to do hasn't worked. So his anger may not even be particularly directed at the Magister. It could be directed at himself. It could be directed at the sense of helplessness that he's experiencing as sort of a secondary emotion, which is useful in a conversation with him insofar as I can say to him, it sounds like you're feeling a sense of helplessness that this has not been resolved. I can cut past the anger and get a little bit deeper in and empathize with what it must be like to think that that's what you're supposed to do, and to have seen it 2 times before me not work. And there's a sense of protectiveness, not just of himself, but of his brother. So his anger as a warrior is likely, I don't have control over how I handle this. I can't just go through this with brawn in a way that I've been trained to do. So this dilemma makes me have to confront who I am. And as a person who has built an identity on utility as a warrior, I don't have utility right now. So now we're like really getting into some deep layers about what are some of the constructs that you build your sense of self around. So this is about his sense of helplessness and his lack of skill in anything other than fight. And this is why I think it's very important for people to not get so myopic in their identity and in their utility to the world. Because if you do that and then it's not useful in a given context, not having the skills to be able to work through a particular transition is going to be that much harder for you. This is why we want to develop a diverse range of skills if we possibly can. Now, what's difficult about this choice that I have in front of me by saying the curse cannot be lifted, you must make peace with it, or if I kill him one more time, perhaps this cycle will end, is I don't know that either one of those is true. The curse cannot be lifted. I don't know that that's the case. And saying you must make peace with it, I think is ridiculous. Ridiculous for me to say that to him. If I kill him one more time, perhaps the cycle will end. Maybe. See, here's the other thing, though, is the Statue of Peace didn't exactly tell me what I needed to do instead. Like, the Statue of Peace didn't exactly say, like, oh, yeah, it's not violence that's going to do it, it's something else. Statue of Peace is just like, yeah, man, he's just angry all the time. I think for me to say to the Statue of War that you must make your peace with the fact that the curse cannot be lifted, that feels really ridiculous to me. But we have evidence to suggest that killing the Magister doesn't do anything. If I kill him one more time, perhaps the cycle will end.
Yes, do this thing.
Doesn't mean I have to go to the ashes. All right, let me see if the Statue of Peace has anything to say about this. Nope. Bro, you just watched me talk to... I just don't have the information, man. Maybe the part of the reason why somebody else killing the Magister isn't working is because somebody else is killing the Magister. The Statue of Peace's reticence here is not helpful. I'm not particularly fond of people who poke holes in things and then aren't willing to follow up and flesh out why they poked holes and stuff. Not a lot of utility to that. Like, the Statue of War has presented a problem and a solution. The Statue of Peace just said, I hate my brother's solution, talk him out of it. Why are the two of you not speaking? This is wild, man. I have spent so much time just analyzing statues. It would be terrible to spend a lifetime as a statue. I agree. It would be absolutely awful. It's just, I just can't. I mean, I can do it. I could do it. But it does not feel right to me to say to the Statue of War, you just need to make peace with this. It just seems ridiculous to me. Especially given the fact that the Statue of Peace is literally just like, yeah, I've just been praying about it. Because if praying was going to work, you'd think it would have worked by now. Where the hell even is the pile of ashes? There. That's the other thing. I don't even know where the... Oh, here we go. The Magister's remains.
The Magister is dead. If I had blood, it would sing. Rest comes upon me, Savior. But look to the earth. The Dane. He left tribute.
And he still has nothing to say. And now I just got a sword because of it. The Winter Blade. Not as good. What does it look like? I could give it to Justice, though. I mean, I feel fine about it. The Statue of War says... I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. Apparently it worked, I guess. I just... To me, the Statue of Peace's reticence really didn't help it there. You gotta speak up. I need to see an interaction between the two of you. This guy said he had a problem. He presented a solution. I mean, the Magister looked like the sloth demon that we fought in the Fade back in Origins. Oh god, hello. I don't know. We'll see if that comes back to bite us, I guess. I don't know if the Statue of Peace gets to rest in peace if his brother's no longer angry. Who knows, man. Ancient Sylvan Wood. I gotta get 5 of those. Alright. Missing stone. A stone appears to be missing. Oh, okay. Thank you for further clarifying. Ron's sextant. Hey, remember when we needed to find our sextant back in Origins? Ooh, the old one. Oh no. Oh my god, it just sicked bees on the bear. Oh my god. I have to say I agree with you, Jeannie. I do. It does feel like it was just kind of like a quickly thrown in thing. Heart of the forest. You found some heartwood. Someone might be able to make something useful out of it. Damn. All right, we're gonna have Wade working his ass off. Still not over the one lady NPC we brought news back of her husband being dead, and we just got one voice line of her teleporting away. I know! I know! Like, what? Give me more! Oh, yes, I feel that so hard. Alright, another statue. We're on that statue number 5. We got 3 more to go. We gotta find a missing stone for this pentagram thingy or whatever. Now we gotta kill all these trees so we can get their wood. I actually don't know what a sextant is, Sherman. I have no idea what it is. Excellent. Somebody wants to Google it and help me learn. I'm down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what a sextant actually is. I never Googled it when we had the quest back. All right, now he's 2 pile of bones. It's the thing sailors use to navigate. Okay. Cool. Agreed, Genie. I mean, that was certainly the structure for a lot of side. I mean, even the side quests in Origins were like the bomb. These trees, man, you can't tell who's gonna fight you and who ain't.
We have done well.
Okay. There's a statue. Ooh, what do we have over here? Militia survivor. Oh, dude, what's up, man?
Don't look. Don't look at me.
Oh, no. Who are you?
Olaf, my name. Came with friends to drive out away the elf, but the dark spawn were too quick. We were ripped apart, biting claws and teeth from the darkness, and then I woke, flesh and bone and gristle under me, around me. Everyone dead. Dead, soft meat melting into the ground. I crawled away, came here. Can't stand to see it.
Holy shit. Where did the darkspawn... Do you know anything about the elf sister?
Sister? I have a sister, do I? elf sister. No,
Oof.
we did not take her. Probably dead or eaten.
All right, so he's kind of... He's losing his ability to accurately recall and assess the world. So I got to be careful with my questions here. I got to take it all with a grain of salt. Did you kill the elves?
No. No. Darkspawn came first. They slaughtered us, took our steel, brought it to the Elven camp, tricked us, tricked the elf. Now, she thinks we are to blame. Hunts all in her rage while they watch.
The Darkspawn played elf against human. Why? This makes no sense.
Sure it does.
Regardless, the elf must be told and judged for her misdeeds. She is no doubt somewhere in these woods. More exploration should uncover her.
The Dark Ones are curious about you too. They watch you as well as her. Can you feel them?
Yeah, I can smell them. Okay, what Justice said there is a little bit odd because it makes complete sense. Here's the thing: the entire thing that I'm coming to understand in this DLC is that we have been dramatically underestimating the Darkspawn. That we have looked at them for too long in a way too simplified lens of Darkspawn, zombies, bad, no brains, and the Darkspawn are showing themselves to have some level of sapience and intelligence and ability to use tactics that is far beyond what we expected, and we are coming to grips with that. It seems like the world is coming to grips with that. The reason why the Darkspawn pinning the elves against the humans makes sense is because why would you fight a battle on two fronts when you can make those two fronts fight themselves? It's the same reason that people in positions of power want lower classes to fight with each other. The people that benefit from things like racism and political groups hating each other and middle class folks talking down to and hating poor folks. People that benefit from that are rich folks and people in positions of power, because you get the lessers to fight against them and they don't think about being a unified front that pushes up. It's the same type of thing in a battlefield. If the Darkspawn can sit back and sit underground and be this unknown quantity and can use these tactics to get the elves and the humans to engage in the bullshit that they've been engaging in for years so that they start fighting and killing each other, that's less work and less casualties that the Darkspawn have to suffer. Some might argue that's a brilliant tactical plan, and that the Darkspawn if they know exactly what they're doing, that's terrifying. I think to some extent, people don't want to acknowledge that the Darkspawn are doing this because the idea that the Darkspawn are that tactically intelligent is terrifying, because they're already terrifying with the numbers. That's like in Star Wars, where you have like all these TIE fighters. The only reason that TIE fighters are scary is because they're in massive numbers. And it's like if all of a sudden you turned every single TIE fighter into a mixture of a TIE interceptor and TIE bomber and Darth Vader's TIE bomber, and now it's like, holy shit, these don't just have numbers, these have the technology. It's the same thing that we're dealing with the Darkspawn here. Yeah, like blowing up the Death Star. That didn't make the Empire go away. It's the same thing with the Blight. I think a lot of people in Ferelden have not spent a lot of time trying to understand the Darkspawn. We've just been trying to slay them as if they're grubs. And we've underestimated them, and now we're not prepared. Yeah, exactly. Kill them, cause the most damage to your enemy while keeping your losses to a minimum. That's 101. Do you know where the Darkspawn came from?
Beneath, around, from shadows.
You know this is going to kill you.
Am already dead. Am already gone. Make an end, please.
As you wish, man. I've killed children before. I can handle a consenting adult. Uh-oh. That sucks. We have a bear friend? We sure do. My man Nathaniel can summon bears.
Trap ahead.
All right.
Elven trinket. A lot of gifts in the expansion, that's for sure. Glyph of paralysis. Nathaniel.
As you wish.
Okay. Oh, that's a bummer for that guy, man. But I'm certainly not going to make him be miserable. If he can be, it's like the wolf or the werewolf that we came across in Origins. Like, I'm okay with ending that person's life if they ask me. It's not my decision of whether they stay alive or die. Light. How fun. So many wolves. Oh god. Oh, that ended up killing Justice? Damn. Okay. Well. I think I got a lot of these. Darkspawn corpse that I didn't kill over here. I already booted that. Another statue here.
All right.
Make a copy of the inscription. I think that's 6. Yeah. Okay. I will say this is a pretty neat area. Oh, yeah. He says as he walks up to a mass grave. Ooh, okay. Wow, this is so neat. I love the smell of rotting corpses and the sound of buzzing flies and the wiggle wiggle of maggots under the skin. Oh, just decomposing flesh. It's my favorite kind of thing. Let's jump
These
in the
bodies
ball
were brought
pit.
Here. You can see drag marks here and here. Someone was trying to hide them.
Yes, they really hid them. They really just.
Yes.
Oh Lord. Okay, well, love what you've done with the neighborhood. Yeah, yeah. I don't know that I'd call that hiding. That's like that makes me think that the person who hit it was 3 years old. It's like when 3-year-olds play hide and seek and they hide behind glass walls. Like that. Oh yeah, good enough. I mean, hell, they got me. I was sitting here talking about how beautiful the scenery was, so it was pretty hidden from me, I suppose. Holy shit, man. I hate that. Now, the real question is, have I gone everywhere that I could possibly go? Because if I'm missing some statues still, I don't know that I have. Oh, you again.
Why are you still here? I told you to stay away from me. I warned you. This place is not for you.
You did do that. I remember that. I just want to talk.
We have nothing to talk about. Stop hounding me.
Well, we're going to talk about why that may not have been the best dialogue decision in a minute.
You don't stand a chance! Why aren't you dead yet? Keep them on their toes!
And she got the whole woods coming after us. Okay, so I don't know that I really liked any of those options, so me saying I just wanted to talk, my thought on that was that it was the least like intrusive and aggressive of the options. There is maybe some merit to me saying that the humans didn't kill the elves, in part because I am an elf, and that me saying that would suggest that I know something about something that she cares about, and maybe there's some form of open dialogue that's possible there. But I don't know, man. I mean, we have been violating her boundaries. She did say go away. So I don't know that she would judge me to be safe no matter what I said. I do think that it's a common line for people to say stuff like, you know, I just want to talk when they don't actually mean that. So I'm not naive to the fact that, like, that may not have been a particularly safe thing for her to hear, but it might have thrown her off enough to be curious. Pizza, it's exactly right. Like, there is some merit to that approach, but I'm surprised. I guess you can't really tell I'm an elf because I'm under some ridiculously badass armor. But a common Ferelden sword driven deep into the ground of the campsite. It looks as though it was planted here on purpose. Oh boy. Can we talk yet?
You will never take me alive.
Okay. As we have mentioned many times in the past in many playthroughs, you have to take into account the context of the person that you are interacting with. I know that I am safe for now. I know that I mean well in coming into this forest and that I'm just trying to help. She doesn't. As far as we can tell, anybody who's come into this place has just slaughtered her people and been awful. So she has every right to be skeptical of me and to be afraid. It makes sense. I show up with a big badass suit of armor, a giant sword, a bear, and a party, and we're going around slaughtering trees and bandits and darkspawn and magisters. Of course she thinks she's next. So the way that I need to respond to her is not to just say, that's not what I'm here for, though that can certainly help, but is to say, hey, I could understand why you're scared. That makes a lot of sense. What can I do to show you that I am safe? That doesn't include me leaving the area. That starts a dialogue with her. Empathy, validation, asking her to work with me for the problem solving. But I'm not entitled to her automatically thinking I'm safe just because I know that I am. None of us is entitled to people thinking something about us just because we know that that's that. We have to show that through action. A big place that this comes up in real life is allyship for various marginalized groups. You may know that you're an ally. You may know that you're working your ass off to try to take care of folks and to acknowledge various power dynamics that exist within groups of identities. But folks in marginalized groups don't get the benefit of being able to give you the benefit of the doubt on that. You have to show allyship rather than say that you're an ally. Your actions are the things that will cover that and will bring people around. But understanding why people would be skeptical of you, particularly if you're in a dominant group, is a very, very, very important skill, because it will help you depersonalize some of these interactions, and it will also help you acknowledge and diminish that power dynamic. I'm not going to kill you.
Then will you let me go? For the sake of our people and what we share.
I don't know anything about you. I need to know, like, what is the deal? I want to talk to you.
Talk.
Me being an elf is the thing that I have to leverage in this conversation here. If I was a human, there's no way me saying the Darkspawn were playing the humans against the elves is going to work, or blaming the humans is going to work. Or me saying that the humans aren't at fault, because I'm a human, right? So me saying that I'm an elf, like me using my identity as an elf, is going to be very, very important here. Now, here's the thing that I'm still at a massive disadvantage here. Because as far as we know, as we just talked about a little while ago, the people of Ferelden's representation internally of the Darkspawn is that they are not capable of the kind of tactics that I am going to suggest led to the demise of her people. So not only am I introducing a counterpoint to her narrative, I am introducing anxiety to the situation for her. I am going to present an experience that's going to violate every expectation she has of what Darkspawn are. And to expect her to just take my word for it, I think is ridiculous. So in order for me to deliver this message effectively, I have to bring with it an immense amount of empathy and validation for what it will be like to hear me say this. So it would sound something like, hey, look, I have a sense of what it is that happened here. And I want to let you know up front that when I make this suggestion to you of what I think it is, it's going to sound out of the realm of reality. I will not be surprised if your first reaction to what I have to say is that you're surprised or that you think I'm a lunatic for suggesting it. I felt the same way when I heard this information, but I've been walking around the forest and gathering information, and I think that this may actually be true. And I'd like to talk to you about why it is, and we can work together to try to problem solve this. Because as much as I'm sure it seems like the humans are to blame here, I'm not so sure that they are. And believe me when I tell you, that's not easy for me to say as a fellow elf. That's the way that I would deliver this information to her, in the hopes that me extending some of that commonality and empathy is going to draw her into the problem-solving part of this. Now, if she's too far gone to listen to that, and she is so walled up that it's an impenetrable fortress at this point, then we'll deal with it. But for now, what I can control is me giving as much empathy to an idea that probably hasn't even crossed her mind ever. I'm literally about to present a novel idea to her. Humans and elves and whoever else don't generally deal well with novel ideas unless they're prepared for it. Sherman, I've seen you ask me that question like 4 times. This is not the time for me to talk about it. If you want to ask me that question and get my answer, you can ask me in Discord. But tags in this capacity are for what's happening in the game, not stuff like that. All right. So I'm not going to just immediately throw this idea out here that the Darkspawn were playing the humans against the elves. I'm going to try to warm her up to the idea that the humans may not be to blame for what happened here. And again, we're leveraging my identity as an elf.
You expect me to believe that? What of the weapons? Or my sister's disappearance?
Yeah, I better have an airtight explanation here. This is a really stupid way to say this. The humans can't be responsible. The Darkspawn killed them. That's not a... like, the humans can be responsible and also be killed. So that's not... that option's out, right? The weapons here were planted by Darkspawn. I want to get this conversation away from humans and over to Darkspawn.
I wondered why anyone would discard the weapons. But you say the Darkspawn planted them? That would mean the Darkspawn killed my people and took my sister.
I found this trinket on a Darkspawn.
That is Sereni's. She would never willingly part with that. Our mother gave it to her before she died. Why would the Darkspawn do this?
Bravo on the cognitive dexterity to integrate that idea into her assessment of the situation. Like, seriously, she took that incredibly well, which to me is the mark of a pretty decent leader. I mean, she has some tangible evidence that would suggest that this idea is possible, so there's some level of affirmation through the data that I'm presenting. But kudos to her for being open to this conversation. This is a conversation that would freak a lot of people out. I don't know the answer to this. I don't even know that I want to throw an answer out there for you. I think it's okay for us to lean into I don't know here, because that's the reality of the situation. We could have a million hypotheses, but let's see if we can find out. This is where I inject a bit of allyship and into this, of like me basically suggesting that, like, hey, I'm on your side. I want to work with you. I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
You have no reason to trust me, but let me come with you.
Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. Oh, mwah. Chef's kiss. It's exactly what I was just talking about. She hit me with the validation of my experience relative to her before making the request. Beautiful. She knows that I'm skeptical of her because she has been hostile to me ever since we met. So instead of just saying, let me come with you and making a demand, she throws an acknowledgement that she understands my experience of her by saying, you have no reason to trust me, but let me come with you. That penetrates the wall. That gets me to go, okay, I can appreciate that you understand my experience of you. It makes me way more open to the idea than her just saying, let me come with you. I love that. It shows a level of self-reflection and interactional reflection that I think is incredibly sophisticated and allows people to be way more dexterous in their interactions. And all of us would do well to pay attention to what the potential experience other people have of us in a given context is, and name that before you try to leverage anything. Fabulous example. Love it. So after you killed all those people and attacked me, I think is me just adding insult to injury. I don't know that all that does is make me self-righteous here. Right? She gave the empathy. She made the request. I can make the decision. I think because she acknowledged up front that I have no reason to trust her, she will understand when I say, that's okay, but I'm going to be watching you.
This elf should be brought to justice. Why should we assist her at all?
You don't know what it's like to lose family. I can't say I wouldn't have done the same to save my sister.
My name is Valana, if you care for such things. Do you know where the dark spawn might dwell?
Probably tunnels.
There is an abandoned mine some ways to the north of here. The tunnels run far into the earth. We will likely find the dark spawn there.
Indeed. Yes, dexterous meaning dexterity, which means versatility, yes. Well, let's go, amigos. Codex updated. Justice disapproves. Justice has weird ideas of justice. Justice is like, justice is death! Like, he's like a total eye for an eye guy. Like, dude. If you are the spirit of justice, you had damn well better start taking context and nuance into account. I know a human crime when I see it. I've experienced more than enough of them. Valana wreaked havoc in the Wending Wood, murdering humans who crossed her path to terrorize the nearby villages into releasing her sister. However, Mick discovered that Darkspawn were to blame for Valana's sister's disappearance. Hoping to rescue her sister, Valana offered to help the Warden Commander destroy the Darkspawn. Thank you. Books and songs. Oh, that's for the statues. Okay, so let's get me with some more strength. Massacre. That's a, cool ass name. I could use. Ooh, I could be a guardian for my boy Justice. She is a. Ooh, okay. Spirit healer, an arcane warrior. I'm down for that. Look at that. 53 magic. Holy hell. Expert herbalism. I don't really care much about that. Go vitality and clarity. And then let's get her, yeah, heals are cool. And then let's get her into arcane warrior. Keeper, that's neat. Earthquake, petrify. Damn, dude. She's gonna be very helpful to us. Nathaniel, my man, let's get you some more dexterity. And let's get you Master Ranger. Hell yeah. So now we have a powerful bear. I like that. And then Justice, we're going to just keep building your constitution because I'd like you to live longer. Okay. All right, sweet deal. Let's check out the rest of this area.
Death. We spirits know no more of it than you do. What lies beyond is obscured, even to us. Can you tell me who these people were? They are unlike the others I have seen.
They are called the Dalish.
The body I inhabit was familiar with that name. My memories say the Dalish were cast out, unwelcome in almost every land. Why is that?
Let me just, you want to borrow my codex sometime, Justice? Can you read? Does that body know how to read? I don't know, man. Life's not very fair, though. I can tell you that.
How odd that mortals find so many differences to hate, when you have so very much in common. To one such as I, it is difficult to tell you apart. Are these similarities not worth rejoicing in?
Oh, don't do that, Justice. Okay, so you're not entirely wrong, but we're all human is invalidating of the differences that contribute to the unique aspects of who people are and what they pride themselves in. It is certainly important to acknowledge that there are immense amounts of similarities between all of us. Yeah, that's true. We are all human. We do all have, to varying degrees, senses that allow us to interact with each other in our environment. But we do also have differences. There are constructed societal structures that we all work within. There are labels that we have for certain identities, and there are things and there are interests and values and cultures that make us different. Traits, both physical and otherwise, that make us different. Those differences are also to be celebrated. When we are turned to fight about our differences and to see certain differences as less than and things to be used to subjugate at the, like, basically hurting others for the benefit of some, that's when it's not so great. But differences are awesome. We just have to work together to figure out how to celebrate them and acknowledge some of the ways in which power and control contributes to our representation of those things. So don't go full bore on the we're all human here thing, because that's very invalidating of difference. But he's not wrong that there are so many similarities and that we would do well to celebrate each other rather than constantly cut each other down in the act or in the name of power and control. I wish things were that easy, man.
Yet they are not. But then, I do not even understand demons. My entire existence is spent seeking out wrongs to right.
That it is. That can't be all there is to you.
But what else am I if I'm not a seeker of justice?
Oh boy.
Enough. I wish to look at this no more.
Oh, my friend, answer that question for yourself. I think it's okay. It's a scary thing, though, man. Very easy to hold on to a single story or a single identity of who you are. Way less complicated than finding nuance in yourself. Yourself is always growing. It's always growing, it's always changing, it's always being impacted by the environment. If you believe that you are supposed to achieve a certain level of self-actualization and that's it, you're going to be grossly disappointed. Who you are evolves as you gather more information and perceive more aspects of your environment, as you have various diversified experiences that come through. Your values change, your interactions influence you, people influence you, your environment influences you, experiences influence you. There's all sorts of things that contribute to that. So when people start to recognize the nuance and the complexity of the world they live in, it can be very anxiety inducing, because it is easier to keep a myopic view of yourself. It just is. Him saying, I'm the spirit of justice and I must make sure that everybody is avenged, is way easier than, well, justice is cool, but there's gray areas, and ethics is about navigating gray areas, and not everything's cut and dry, and not everything's good and bad, and what does that mean, and then what does it all mean, and that causes a lot of existential anxiety for folks. A lot easier to just be like, no, 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 man, I'm the spirit of justice. I find out what's right or wrong and act according. And I'll hold on to that identity no matter what the environment I'm in dictates.
Why does it feel like I'm being dragged around by unseen forces?
I love the meta conversation in, like, when he gets controlled by me, he acts like he's being possessed. Is Justice the best character so far? I don't like questions like that. Like, what does that even mean? Like, what does best character even mean? Discarded weaponry. This pile of Ferelden weaponry has been dumped in the corner of the camp. The whole concept of spirits in this world is interesting because their whole deal is becoming confused and overwhelmed by the complexities of our world. Yeah, and it's neat. All right, shallow graves. Can I, like, what is the deal here? Can I interact with these? There we go. Small stone cairns mark these graves. Dude, BioWare thinks that people read stupid fast. Oh my god. Are you kidding me right now? Which appear to have been carved recently, I guess. Oh my god. Alright. Oh, good. An ogre. All right. In we go. Well, I don't know that I want to do that yet. I want to make sure that we looked at all the statues and stuff. And I don't know that we have. So how the hell do I get up here? Ogres have lairs. Onions have lairs. Ogres are onions, confirmed. Justice would benefit from talking to Brother Genetivi. That would be pretty interesting. If he's like, dude, can you do a book signing? So I can just, like, learn more? Strange stone. Battered journal. A scholar's journal. 7 Cloudreach. Offered roast boar at the inn. Love that stuff. I shared the meal with a weary old traveler newly arrived via the Pilgrim's Path. Told me that he stumbled upon an odd structure of stones in the Wending Wood. He showed me a souvenir he brought back, one of the smaller stones. It looked familiar somehow. 9 Cloudreach. I remember where I saw that stone. An old history book in Denerim's Chantry. The Tevinters built structures to harness mystical energies. Most have been destroyed. The stones used for construction. Yet the traveler claims this one survives. 10 Cloudreach. He was at the inn again and sold me the stone. I'm heading to the Wending Wood as soon as I find the caravan, although people seem wary of the place. 29 Justinian. Finally found the caravan. Nervous lot, though. Barely halted to let me out. Found the structure and spent the day studying it. Burned myself on the magical fire several times, but I think I figured it out. Must make a path of fire that connects all the stones in a single loop. Will attempt after I drive away whatever creature's making that rustling noise. Oh, poor guy. Make a path of fire. Yes, you do. Dude, having a mage is prime time. Is this not the way that I... Nope, sure is. God damn it. I want to do all the things I can do before I go down into that temple. It is important to me. While I backtrack a little bit here, to those of you that are watching this on YouTube, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this episode. I appreciate it. Thanks for your continued support of my channel. Those of you that are here with me on Twitch, as always, I am so grateful for your willingness to come hang out with me live and chat with me and with each other while we play the game. I will forever be grateful that so many of you support what I do. These have been very fun playthroughs over the years. Alright, so we did this guy. I mean, who knows? Maybe the other statues are in other parts of this, but I just want to make sure that I am thorough here. And that I have sufficiently checked out every statue. I have a zit on my forehead, like right where the snapback part of my hat goes. Oh my god, is it irritating. I overheard you say that you stole a pencil at the age of 9. Have you paid for this crime? That's my justice. He must be brought to justice. A cran for a cran, I always say. You can't spell justice without just ice. Oh, I forgot to go to that cocoon thing. We gotta go over there. There must be more wood on the other side of the thing, because I think I've done it all. Wish I could get a mount like in World of Warcraft. But alas. How many of you who watch this on YouTube like fast forward these parts? I've always been curious.
For miles. I never thought the world of mortals would be so beautiful.
Yeah, dude. Pretty cool. Let's see if there's anything any armor I can give Valana. Toque of the Oblivious, plus 10 magic. Oh, wow. Well, it's a goofy ass hat, but 8 magic. Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay. Sweet deal. I mean, it's a goofy hat, but oh, there's a statue down there. All right, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. What mod do you use that makes the text so damn small? What do you mean? I don't have any mods on right now. All right, 7 of 8. There's one more. Another chest. No money. Gotta go this way. Oh god, spider warning. Kill it with fire. Oh my god. Holy shit. Yes, kill it with fire. Okie dokie. I'm not a fan, man. I mean, I don't have arachnophobia, but I don't like spiders. All that for a piece of paper? Are you kidding me? Jeez Louise. There has to be one more There has to be one more statue. There are 8 of them. Oh, these types of quests drive me nuts. Because you just know that there's one statue that's like totally hidden. And it's got to be in some place that I haven't thought to look. This is why I use tab. Because that's supposed to help me with these things. A horse would be helpful. You bet your sweet ass it would be. You kidding me? Hell, I'd be fine with a donkey. I don't even need like a majestic steed. I just need something to like help me get around. Is this it? No. Dude. Yeah, sweet ass donkey. I know there's somebody watching this VOD right now who knows where this last statue is, who's just dying right now. He's just absolutely dying. They're like, dude, I know where it is. You've passed it 5 times. Or it's like, dude, just go into the underground because it's over there. If you're that person, I'd like to personally apologize that you're having to deal with that. But hey. Oh, there it is. How do I get over there? That's it. Okay, so wait, I just clicked on it. Is this really gonna... I'm hands-free right now. Is this gonna path me all the way over to it? Just click on it. The game does the work for you. Look at this. This is awesome. What have I been doing this whole time? Who wants to play a game when you can just have it play for you? You just point and click. It's a point and click adventure. Wow. All right. Let's read it. That's hilarious. All right. These verses were carved into statues in the Wending Wood. They appear to be from the Canticle of Maphorith, which the chantry includes among the dissonant verses unacknowledged in the Chant of Light. Spite ate away all that was good, kind, and loving, till nothing was left but the spite itself, coiled round my heart like a great worm. And in my darkest hour, I turned from her and vowed that I would destroy her. At the moment of her death, I knew what I had done, and I wept. I shall bring the lands of my fathers to her word. Therein lies their salvation and mine. And she came to me in a vision and laid her hand on my heart. Her touch was like fire that did not burn, and by her touch I was made pure again. Despair not, said she, for your betrayal was maker blessed. and returned me to his side. I am forgiven. Okay. Man, now I just want to point at shit and just go. Daily shelf. Turn to Mervis. I need one more sample of sylvan wood as well. There's one more tree somewhere around here who wants to fight me. It is a tree that I hope that I will see, because to finish that quest is my destiny. I actually know that there was one that was over there. And when he's dead, his wood he'll share. If he pops out of nowhere, he'll give a scare. And with wide eyes, our frayed party will stare. I remember there being one over here. Oh, Mr. Tree. Oh, Mr. Tree. I mean, I'm having to like really make some entertaining content right now because your boy is not doing any game stuff. You know, hey, this is what you got to do, friends. You want to be a successful streamer. Hey, look at that. Supposed to make them all touch stone, I guess. Cool noise. Pretty sure I messed this up. So let's walk it back. Okay. Man, I really wish there was a reset button on this. Because your boy did not do this right. Go all the way back. Now that we know what the dealio is. Okay. That guy's book told me what I was supposed to do. I didn't pay enough attention to it to do it properly. This reminds me of the bridge quest that we did. I think this is wrong. Like, I'm pretty sure that me having that one set there is part of what's screwing me up here. Turn that off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Trying to remember what that guy's thing said. I should probably check that journal. Okay. So, all right. So we start here. Oh, okay, because it starts... Okay, so it starts from this guy. So it starts from the one that we... It's just I want to see what happens here. Okay, so... And this is not going to connect with this. So one of these can't be connected. Because you can't have it create a full circle. That, I think, is what's throwing me off. You gotta use the power of deductive reasoning. Right, so you turn that off, and then you have these three light up. You hit this one, and now you have a choice. Do you go to the right, or do you go to the left? If I go to the right, this stays lit. This one can't be lit, nor can this one, because it's already being... So I could choose to go up. But then I can't get this lit because... And you need all 5 of these to be lit. So maybe you don't do that one. Maybe you start with this one. You go over.
Yes.
And then you go down. But then you can't connect to this one because you went down here. So like you can't... So you obviously have to use all 3 layers. Somehow. Because you need to be able to get these... Nothing was worse than that bridge puzzle. I liked the bridge puzzle. That one felt okay for me. All right, I literally have every single one lit up. And that's not gonna do it. So, where's that guy's book? Wait, why can't I read that guy's book anymore? Oh, here we go. Battered journal. Or it was like, do I have to go inspect his... God damn it, what did it say? Does anybody in chat remember what it said? It was something like they all need to, like, line up with each other or something like that. So you, like, talk to this guy, and this guy was like... Or you don't talk to him, you find his corpse. It should be in the journal. I do not want answers about the puzzle itself. I want to figure out what that guy's thing said, because I know I have that. Quest related, okay. Scholar's Outreach Journal, here we go. Burned myself on the magical fire several times. I think I figured it out. Must make a path of fire that connects all the stones in a single loop. Will attempt after I drive away whatever creatures making the rustling noise. Okay, so you have to get a full loop. And I can't get a full loop because of... Okay. So we're going to undo this. Now that I actually paid attention to what my objective is, let's see if I can actually get this done. So, it's got to be a single loop. So I have to figure out how to get this. Okay. then this one would need to somehow be empty. So you have to have this set up such that when you land on the last one, it's gonna like combine from... I see. Okay. So it's going to have to come down from one of these because you're going to need to basically have 2 of these open. Right? It's going to need to be like this so that when you grab this guy... Alright, so maybe we don't do the loop-de-loop quite as fast. See, but if you come out... Oh, what's up, General Andrews? Oh, man, you're coming in at an interesting part right now, friends. Dreamers, I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed General Andrews' stream immensely. I am Dr. Mick. I'm a licensed couple and family therapist. I have a PhD in human development. And this is Game Sessions with a Therapist, where I am stumped on a very interesting puzzle. See, you have to come out. So there's like nowhere you can go. Jen, I hope you had a great stream. I am having a great stream despite my puzzled countenance right now. This is the one that's throwing me for a loop here because the way that we need to get... We have to get to the outer ring at some point. See, this is the kind of shit that'll keep me up until 4 a.m. because I get so locked in to trying to figure this kind of thing out. Right? Because you can't... I want to practice on the inside one. See, because you go all the way around the edge, right?
Yes.
So you go here. Right? But you can't attach this. You do not have to have every path on fire, Posty. Every outside ring has to be on fire. So I have to figure out how to get the entire pentagon lit up. But when one is already lit up, you can't draw it back. So like, because this one's lit, this one can't. So I'm trying to figure out how to get to the outside in such a way. And what I think I have to do is I think I have to get the track as far away. I will say, if people in the chat know how to do this, please, 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 please do not spoil it. Because I really want to figure it out on my own. But okay. So you bring this in like this. But then you go okay, so if I go out like this, right? So now we've created this connection. And this connection immediately spoils everything, because if this goes out this direction, this one can't come in. So this is where I keep getting messed up, because if I go out like this, it just really seems like I've done like this variation a bunch of times, right? So like we do this, and now we're stuck again because I have this open and I have this open. If I go down here, I would need right. So like if I can figure out a way to leave this open on each, it just doesn't work. Because I go over here and I can't get this one to open up. I'm wondering if I have to... Okay, so... These need to be open somehow. Until, like, a last one. So right now, I have this zigzagged. Like so. And I want this to be zigzagged in such a way that this is always open. Okay, so if I go here, and then I go here, but then I can't... So one of these has to be... The starting point cannot be changed. It has to start here. And so I have a choice to either go here, here, or down. And down most certainly is not it. Now, could I go up, bypass, down, or wait, no, here, here, down. So I have two open. Just doesn't seem right. So if I go here, I've basically stymied myself, because if I go down here and then over here and then here and then up, it's not gonna go. Because that guy is already done. But if it... I need to have these two burning. So that this one's lit, and then this is the one that I have to come down to in order to connect these. Can you zoom out and still click the buttons? That's a wonderful question. No, I have to physically walk over to them. That's really annoying. So it isn't that. So let's try something else. So let's go here. And then down. You've been drinking cocoa cold brew. Yikes. Oh, that's yeah, that. This is just so wild, because like you have to go out at some point. Like I literally have to be able to come down from like here while everything else is done. So if I go up here, maybe I do have to go out first. But if I go out and then here, I can't, like, it just doesn't work. So I have to go to one of these. And then I really... This guy goes here. And then I go down. And then I go over. And then I go up. And then I go... Stuck if I go here. And then I go yeah, I mean, it really, I just like, it's like I can feel what I need to do. And it's just, how do you make it happen? Because I don't think it's me going around like this and then back around. Because still, ultimately, I'm going to have a problem with how it goes. Like, this does absolutely, in some ways, have to go from the inside out. It's just to what extent... Right, because I have three options here. So I go here. Somehow, some way, this has to be the last one. But I don't know how you do that, because there's no way to get to the outside on your last draw, because you have to go outside in order to connect the outside ones. So I go here. But now I can't go into the middle pentagram. Right, I go here, but now if I go here, I'm trapped. I can't come out of this. So I can't do it that way. I could go up and then back around and then over, but I'm still going to run into the exact same problem. Which is that these do not connect once they're lit. So even if I go out, this one stays open. I go here, because it's my only option. I go here. So that doesn't work because at some point I'm gonna have to figure.
Yes. Going. Yes.
I'm gonna be up all night trying to figure this out. This is a brilliant puzzle. I love this. These 5 have to be lit. So this basically says, all right, I think I figured it out. I must make a path of fire that connects all the stones in a single loop. Unless it's referring to all of these stones. Oh my god. I'm thinking these are the stones. But these are called stones. Oh, I'm a knucklehead, man. Okay. Okay. All of these have to be lit in a single loop. I thought the pillars were the stones. Oh, you know what? Okay. So... I just need to make sure. My zigzagging was the proper idea. There it is. Wait, what the hell? That's all of them. Is it not? So it has to loop back to this one? Okay, so now, I mean, literally, this is just me gradually learning to interpret what this is. So, okay, so I have to bring it all the way back to this guy then. Oh, all right. All right. All right, that's okay.
What? Don't you have something better to do?
No, well, yeah, I mean, I got a lot of better things to do than solve a fire puzzle, but this is good. No, this is good. All right, so now that I know that it's every stone and that it has to connect back to this, all that does is just slightly change my pathing. That's all it does. So we go here. Isaac, thanks for gifting that sub to Holocene. There we go. All right. All right. That's a hell of a necklace. All right. That's worth it. +3 to all attributes, +10 mental resistance. Okay. To anybody watching this VOD that made it here, if you didn't bail on this, I actually want to talk really quickly about this before I end the stream. So, learning is a frustrating process. You cannot learn without experiencing anxiety and without confronting a sense of incompetence. By definition, when you are learning something, you are incompetent relative to mastery because you're learning it. So when you're presented with a task, something you have to learn, you have to lean into the fact that it's going to stir up some frustration. That's okay. In fact, if you're frustrated, it means that you're learning. It means that your brain is like, this is novel. This is a skill that I don't possess that I need to learn. And so how most learning goes is you start with trial and error. You start to see what variables work, which in this case is literally what happens when I press a button. What are the rules of the task? And then you build from there. You seek some level of instruction, if that's available to you, like we did. And then you see what works, and you use the feedback of failure to determine alternative courses of action and to figure out what works and what doesn't. And if you build distress tolerance, if you lean into it, if you frame it for yourself as an opportunity to learn something, and you take the self-esteem and the personalization and the perceived expectations of others out of it, It's actually kind of enjoyable. I just spent the last 40 minutes in front of an audience of, at one point, 150 people, constantly failing at a task. But I did it in the name of learning. It's in the name of curiosity. There's an excitement to the fact that there is a possibility that will allow you to get to this chest that has the cool necklace in it. You just have to figure it out what it is. If I expected that I was going to nail that on the first try because I thought that's what everybody around me was expecting and that's what I was supposed to do, and because I have a very unrealistic expectation of myself, I am doomed in that task. Because I have expected mastery without knowing the rules, without scaffolding into it, without chipping away at it and using feedback from the process to learn the process better. And I would give up. Because I might say something like, it's too hard. I'm pissed off. I'm frustrated, and I shouldn't have to be. I should know how to do this immediately. I've never seen this puzzle in my entire life. So for me to expect to be able to just figure it out is ridiculous. So hold yourself to a realistic standard. Understand that learning is a failure-driven process. It's a frustration and anxiety-driven process. And it's one that you can choose how to respond to in a meaningful way. You keep your cool. You remind yourself of the context you're in. There's literally nothing at stake. This is a video game. It's a puzzle. It's a brain teaser. And it's an opportunity for me to learn a new type of puzzle. If you set this puzzle up again and asked me to do it again, I would do it very quickly again. Because I now know how it works. That's what learning is. If you're interested in learning more about learning theory, I have a video on YouTube about learning theory. It's something that I spent my entire doctoral life learning, becoming an expert on. So I relish in these types of moments to take on something that's challenging. It's not about my self-worth. It's about learning a skill. This has no bearing on who I am as a person. And a lot of people will personalize the task that they're trying to learn. They'll look at the learning process and the frustration and anxiety associated with it as a reflection of who they are as a person. That I'm not failing a task, I'm a failure. And if you do that, you are going to frame basically everything you do as if you're incompetent. And the fact of the matter is you are incompetent until you lean into learning long enough to become competent. There are some folks who are more naturally talented at certain things and learning doesn't take as long. But even people who are naturally talented have to put the work in to learn and master their craft and are always learning. If you ever listen to the highest profile performers, whether it's athletics or really any space, they will tell you, they will say things like, I work hard and I'm always learning. I'm always trying to figure out how to get better. How to get better is to learn, is to lean into the anxieties, to look for the ways in which you can get better, to find them and see them as growth areas and to put that work in. Self-deprecation has never helped anybody get better at anything. All it does is make you feel like shit about yourself. It's like kicking yourself while you're already down. You are capable of learning something if you lean into the learning process. It may take time. Sometimes it's okay to walk away for a second, refresh your mind, and come back to it. But if you start making something like this about you as a person, you're doomed. This has nothing to do with you as a person. If I did that, I would have quit this a long time ago, feeling a sense of shame that chat's gonna judge me for the fact that it took me 40 minutes to figure out this puzzle. You want to know what? I'm proud of myself for figuring that puzzle out and not Googling it. I'm proud of the fact that I was trying to figure it out and manipulate different things and that I got to the point where I finished it. The reward is in completing the task and building the skill. The journey in and of itself is a reward, and then the end gain from that is the reward. And I really, when we talk about learning and when we talk about people gaining skill in anything, That's the type of frame that you have to take into it. That's how you can be successful at learning different tasks. It is a failure and anxiety-driven process. And this was a perfect example of that. You may, Kamzi. I don't know if it might block you, but distress tolerance is when you build distress tolerance, chat, by leaning in and hanging in there longer than you otherwise would. There are points in here where I could have bailed and said, you know what, I'm going to hang it up for the stream. We'll figure it out on the next one. But I had the time. And I had the energy to say, you know what, I'm going to lean into this. I'm going to hang in there longer than I might otherwise do it. And so my heart rate didn't go up at all while I was doing this. It was exciting for me to have my brain engaged. So you can condition that for yourself if you really put an effort into leaning into this type of process, whatever it may be. You are always incompetent relative to perfection, which is why perfection should never be your goal. Your goal should be to just get better and to hang in there and to use your brain and your mind and your environment and teachers as a means to gain that skill. Let me find the link. I will post the link in chat to my learning theory video. If you're on YouTube, you can just search it on my channel. It's a couple clicks away. But it is I think, a very important topic. Where is it? Oh man, is it really not? Do I really not have it on Discord right now? Well, I'm gonna end the stream here because we'll go into the Darkspawn caves on the next episode. So those of you that are watching this on YouTube, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos. If you made it all the way to the end, please know I give you a bonus gold star for making it this far. I really am grateful that you all support this channel. Please leave a like on the way out. Leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Go check out my learning theory video if you haven't already. And maybe challenge yourself to hang in there a little bit longer to learn a little something, a skill or something that you've been wanting to learn. Because I'm not using this as an illustration to show off and say, ooh, look how high my distress tolerance is. Look at my willingness to learn. That's not the point of this. The point is, if you have a skill that you want to learn that you're not good at yet, that's the point. You're supposed to be bad at things until you put the work in to be good at it. So I will catch you on the next episode on part 6 when we go down into the mines, and I will very much look forward to seeing you.